Hello and welcome to Inside the Owl Studio. I'm pleased to announce today's interview will be with ModMed, one of Owl's uniting sponsors. ModMed is a software solutions company transforming healthcare by placing doctors and patients at the center of care through an intelligent, specialty-specific cloud platform. ModMed's all-in-one solution, including electronic health records and practice management systems, along with revenue cycle management services, can help increase medical practice success and improve patient outcomes. We are so thrilled that ModMed has been a uniting sponsor of OWL for the past few years, and thank you so much for your support. And without further delay, I would like to introduce today's interviewee, Sharareh Brescia, Vice President of Sales at ModMed. Hello, Sharareh, and welcome to Inside the OWL Studio.
Hello, Abby. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, today Sharareh and I will be discussing specific activities and initiatives that ModMed is utilizing to develop rising leaders and ensuring they can bring their true selves to work. On that note, I'm going to turn it over to you, Sharareh.
Thank you so much, Abby, for having me. And I'm excited to talk about a topic that I am very passionate about. Being a part of a fast-growing organization like ModMed, high potential employees and rising leaders need investment in learning and development. You hear this time and time again, right? Prospective employees, high potential employees alike, they want to hear about the investment in L&D, learning and development. ModMed has beefed up our L&D function with a number of core initiatives over the last couple of years, one of which is accessibility to content, both proprietary content through solutions like ModMed U, which is all about our products, our services, our industry at large, as well as external resources like LinkedIn Learning. LinkedIn Learning is just a phenomenal asset, and every employee at ModMed has access to their extensive library. So whatever you want to work on, whether it's soft skills or technical skills, you can do so, at your own time and at your own pace. So I think we're not only forming a world-class L&D organization, we're diving deep into supporting our various functional groups within the organization to broaden our offering and our focal areas, right? A lot of times you think L&D, you think onboarding a new employee, right? And what's that experience like within their first 90 days? We want to look beyond that through the entire employee life cycle. Like, I'll give you a good example. I'm on the sales team. I work with ophthalmology practices on evaluations of their electronic health record software and their practice management systems. And we strive for these engagements to be better than our competition, right? We want them to be highly consultative. So we invest the time in training our employees on how to assess a practice's current state. What are their challenges? What are their bottlenecks? What's their employee sentiment? How do their patients feel about them? How you take what you've heard and observed, right, and align that to a better future state, focusing on improving patient outcomes and overall patient and practice satisfaction.
That's really amazing. And I think what I'm hearing that I love is this kind of, post 90 days. I think a lot of companies, you you onboard the employee, you make sure that they're happy in those first 90 days or that they're getting what they need. And sometimes there's a drop off there. And I think that it's really important to continue kind of those touch points and that employee development. And I kind of see that maybe internally being mirrored with what you do at the practice level with your own employees.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of neat to see that same kind of process internally, as well as what you're doing actually consultatively with your practices. So
yes,
I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's really cool.
It speaks to an investment, right? It's an investment that we are making in our employees for, the longevity, right? Their professional development, their tenure at ModMed, and whatever happens beyond that. But I think also just for emerging leaders, right? Because we're a fast growing organization, we really want to focus on our emerging leaders. And we have our ModMed leading competencies, right? Like most organizations do. But what I
Right.
found that's really unique is and important is that we focus on how you exhibit these competencies, but in your own authentic and genuine way, right? Which is really such a critical focal area for any rising leader is how do I apply these skills in a way that's really true to me and that's true to my communication style, and my leadership style.
Oh, I love to hear that. That personalization. And, I think over the long term that's good for the employee because you're saying to them, you know, these core competencies and how you kind of provide them out to the world with your own style, with your own, strengths, is really nice to hear.
I think one other, kind of new plan that I wanted to highlight is something that's sort of near and dear to my heart because I thought it was a really fun exercise in self-awareness and reflection is developing individual development plans, right? For each employee
Mhm.
to hone in on specific areas of challenge and opportunity, right? Which I'm joking that it was a fun exercise because self-awareness, right, is a truly very important trait in leadership. But we have leadership development training and cohorts where we collaborate cross-functionally. I think a lot of times when you think about healthcare IT, you think about just various functions, right? Whether it's marketing or sales or product or customer success, giving that opportunity to broaden exposure across these departments and focusing on just like really relevant topics such as how do I give feedback, right? How do we give feedback that's both positive and constructive? How do we run a one-on-one meeting really effectively? And I know one thing I've personally gotten out of this initiative is I found new colleagues, new peer mentors who are my go-to people outside of my department. We are an organization with a lot of remote employees. So having that accessibility, having that communication across functions, just so crucial in forming, strong culture, right? We talked a little bit about culture before and
Yeah.
building and establishing a network.
Yeah, and I think too, on top of kind of that, when you have that communication across functions, it's great for the employees, for the relationships, but I think it's also at the end of the day really good for productivity, for efficiencies. So that kind of translates to the bottom line of the organization as well. So I love to hear that, and I think it is important that the more cross-functional communications organization has and fosters in a productive way is super important. So I think
At
if
the end
there's
of the day,
nothing
it
else,
benefits our customers, right? At the end of the day,
yes,
that's what it's all about. Is we
yeah,
want it to have an outcome that's very relevant and beneficial to our customers.
agree. 100%. This was awesome. I'm going to go into our last remaining questions for the interview. Um, what is your favorite word in eye care?
So I'm going to cheat on this because I watched one of your other interviews and loved the response because I have a vision board. So I'm going to select the word
Oh my
vision.
goodness.
You've heard that I think more than once or twice, but I think just the different definitions of the word, it's just so meaningful and I think impactful to so many. So I'm going to pick the word vision.
I like that word too. What is your least favorite word?
My least favorite word is astigmatism. I, I suffer from an astigmatism
Me
that's
too.
gotten worse as I've gotten older, and it can be sort of a scary thing to have when you're out in the world late at night without
Yeah,
your glasses. So
yeah.
I would love a cure for an astigmatism.
I would too. I would too. What professional role in our business here would you want to attempt and why?
Well, if I was capable
Uh,
to do this, I would love to be a a corrective vision, a LASIK surgeon. I had LASIK done in the year 2006, and I had been wearing glasses since I was in maybe first grade. It truly changed my life.
Yeah.
Um, and I know that a lot of people feel the same way. I think that it's immediate. There's an immediate impact, and it's immediately life
Yeah.
changing. And I would love to be somebody that could support people in that way.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I agree with you. And, the younger LASIK happens to the right patient. Wow. It is. It's remarkable, right?
Yes.
Um, what professional role in eye health would you not want to pursue and why?
Well, I think in just related to a lot of the development and innovation on the AI front,
Yeah.
especially being somebody that works at a highly innovative technology company, I don't think that I would want to be a scribe. I think that there's just so much innovation, so much dynamic technology, both native within EHRs and complementary to EHR systems, that I think that that role may in the future, right, diminish, become obsolete,
Yeah.
what have you, because of the innovation with AI.
Yeah. That's
Job
a great
security.
answer. Yeah. Yeah. No, I like that. Um, if you could do one thing to contribute to authentic leadership in the eye health space, what would it be?
I think about just communication and rapport building through mentorship, right? I've been
Yeah.
to just a number of different venues, trade shows, academy shows, things like that. And I always get so much out of that in terms of just meeting with thought leaders, meeting with physicians, meeting with all the different people and roles that support eye health. And I think that building that network, creating mentorship, like we talked a little bit about peer mentorship a minute ago, but I think that all of that just contributes so much to the evolution of the industry and the market and our solutions like we have at ModMed. So just building that network, building a dynamic network, right? Those that you can go to, just it just does a lot.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Okay, so here is your surprise question. It's actually been asked before, but it is my favorite one. So, if you could be any animal, what animal would you be and why?
Well, I have a 5-year-old who is obsessed with elephants.
Oh,
So we read a lot about elephants and watch a lot of videos. We have not gone on safari yet, but we have been to Disney World, and we have been to Animal Kingdom. And I just think like they are just such an amazing and majestic animal. Like you'd be hard pressed to find somebody that doesn't love elephants, who's just not impressed with the way they are a community, the way that they migrate, the way that they take care of their young, right? So some of
yeah.
those things are things I already do today, but I just think they're such an amazing and incredible animal.
I love that. And there's nothing like an elephant baby. I mean,
So true.
honestly, they're amazing. Oh,
So true.
well, I want to thank you and ModMed so much for your time today. Your support of OWL is just really, really appreciated. We couldn't do what we do without your support. And I really enjoyed this conversation. And I think what you're doing at ModMed is fantastic. And again, like all of these interviews, I hope people watching really listen and take some notes because I think there's things that you're doing there that other people could definitely bring into their organizations and maybe not the same shape and form, something different, but I think it's great what you're doing. So thank you so much.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much, Abby.